Well, Chelsea welcome a club with rich history in this very competition, but they find themselves bottom of the pack after back-to-back defeats to start off their campaign. Chelsea hosting Ajax, as Chelsea looking for back-to-back victories in the competitions themselves after slowly picking up some form. Enzo Maresca making 10 changes to the side that beat Nottingham Forest at the weekend, which marked the end of Ange Postecoglou's 36-day tenure as Forest boss. Romeo Lavia, excellent to see him being fit again and ready to start 3 days after he started against Forest. Chelsea really have a young team out there with a youthful front four of Buonanotte, Gittins, Mark Guehi and Esteban Willian. And the huge story is Jarell Hato, the 19-year-old centre-back Chelsea purchased in the summer up against his former club, for whom he captained and played over 100 games for. Incredible career. I mean, not even a career. I mean, what a start it was for him at such a young age. So he will have a bit of nerves, that's for sure. But I expect Chelsea to come through this challenge here. Change backline for Chelsea, as I mentioned before, with Wesley Fofana as the right-sided centre-back, Tosin as the centre-back, and Jarell Hato as the left-sided centre-back. And we have the three midfielders in Lavia, Enzo Fernandez, and Moises Caicedo. Here's Tosin, who missed a bit of game time because of injury, and then since then Josh Achimpong has been the centre-back in the absence of... Oh, brilliant from Jamie Gittins, bursting past the defender. Cross comes into the box. The cushion header is decent. Wout Weghorst is trying to get that away. Raul Moro trying to push that past Jarell Hato. Gets a bit of success. Free kick for Ajax. Enzo Maresca beating Jose Mourinho in his first Champions League victory as Chelsea boss. It was a chastening defeat against Bayern Munich. We had to learn lessons the hard way, didn't we? When we had to play against the Bavarian Giants. We competed for a few pockets of the game, but other than that, it was really hard work. 3-1 on the night, could have been more. Ajax, on the other hand, a 2-0 loss and then a 4-0 loss to Marseille. Shows that Johnny Heitinga, ex-Everton defender, he was the Liverpool assistant coach last season, where Liverpool won the league, of course, and now cutting his teeth as a first manager. Oh, that's a good bit of skill there on the right-hand side. Real good of pace here from Raul Mora. Gets past Hato. Hato's having a difficult start so far. Lavia does very well to find Buonanotte. Gets away from the challenge. Chelsea looking to be on the front foot here. Enzo Fernandez doesn't find Esteban. Poor pass there from the captain. Has to be better with the pass there, Enzo. See here, Ajax not overawed by the situation here. 4-2-3-1 formation by Johnny Heitinga against Chelsea here. The goalkeeper, Remco Pasveer, is 42 years of age. Incredible. I mean, still playing in the Champions League. Maybe slightly easier for the goalkeeper, but once you reach that 40-year mark, it is not easy to play professional football, that's for sure. Yuri Bas, Joseph Stutalo, Ko Utakura, and Lucas Rosa as the back four for them. Captain Kenneth Taylor, number 8 for them, and James McConnell, player on loan from Liverpool, partnering him in the pivot. Mika Götze, Oscar Glock, Raul Moro giving support to Wout Weghorst. And Ajax will want to be on the front foot here. Try and unsettle this young Chelsea lineup as much as possible. Chelsea's strong point definitely is the midfield, and that is where we need to take complete control of proceedings. The extra man there with... We might see Caicedo as that inverted right back, but Caicedo, we'll see him for most of the game for sure in the midfield area. And Ajax are popping the ball away quite comfortably here. Lucas Rosa goes back to his goalkeeper. Here's Yuri Bas. Dutch left back here. Of course, you expect Ajax to have a heavily Dutch team, and that's exactly what they have. A lot of academy players and a few shrewd acquisitions like Ko Itakura from Mönchengladbach. A couple of seasons there for the Japanese, playing in the German league and now in the Dutch league. Champions League as well. This is a huge step up for players who've really gone through the ranks. Caicedo with the handball there. Mika Götze, the Belgian winger on the left-hand side, trying to get a bit of influence going here. Big day here for Mark Guiu for Chelsea. No João Pedro in the lineup. João, of course, picked up the needless second yellow card right at the end of the game against Benfica. Continuing Chelsea's terrible run of getting red cards in consecutive games. It's getting quite ridiculous here so far. We saw Malo Gusto yesterday after Chelsea were 3-0 up. That's a decent ball on the outside of the foot. Jorgensen is very, very slow off his line there. Hato has to take complete control of the situation. I think it was Fofana who comes across, who does very well. Philip Jorgensen has this problem. We saw this against Manchester United in the second goal, where he just gets stuck in his line. He has to come out and claim that. It's something that we're accustomed to see Rob Sanchez, for all his faults, he does do that very well. Here's Hato. Chelsea in a 3-3-4. Oh, Lavia looking to just feed that forward to Mark Guiu. And what Chelsea need to make sure is get shots early at the goalkeeper. Test him. See the likes of Gittins and Estevao, they will definitely do that. Really loved their cameo when they came on together. Ajax worked this very well on the left-hand side. There's space on the right-hand side for Raul Moro. Looks for the cutback instead. Lavia is excellent. Oh, he's left the space open. Tosin blocks. Chelsea get away with it. Ooh, that was stressful. Ajax worked it very well. Might have released the pass a touch earlier on the right-hand side where Raul Moro was waiting for it. Mika Götze just takes his time on it. Johnny Heitinga will be relatively pleased with the start here. Chelsea need to get a grip of the game now. It's been not as fluent as we had hoped it to be. Pretty end-to-end stuff so far. Here's Hato. Buonanotte on the left-hand side. He was bought as the emergency backup number 10 to Cole Palmer when Palmer missing till December now. Don't expect him to start much in the league here. We might see Enzo Fernandez, João Pedro more or less in that position. Here's Estevao. First involvement in the game for the young Brazilian who's been electrifying every time he gets on the pitch for Chelsea. Might be just made for these massive occasions in the Champions League as a switch out here for Jamie Gittins, who does so well to bring that down on his back. But the offside flag being raised. Unfortunate there for Gittins. Good game here for Jamie Gittins to try and impress Enzo Maresca. Let's have a look here. Yep, he is offside. Good call there. Beautiful switch out though. That was excellent skill there by Jamie Gittins. Ajax looking to play out the back. Very risky there. Chelsea applying the high press. There are some big games kicking off at the same time. Real Madrid hosting Juventus. Liverpool trying to break their 4-match losing streak against Eintracht Frankfurt. Ajax, of course, taking on Chelsea. Monaco against Spurs. Here's Hato. Tosin. And Chelsea haven't threatened the backline yet. Haven't got really going in the attacking phases so far. Still plenty of time. Fofana, as we mentioned before, 10 changes at the weekend. This is a more settled midfield for us, but the front line is very young, very raw. Tosin with the line breaker to Guiu, who tries to hold off the challenge. Good work there. Caicedo bites into the challenge. So does Lavia. Buonanotte tries to find Mark Guiu. Buonanotte again. Might have just nipped into the foul. Good strong play there from Romeo Lavia. Tosin with an excellent pass onto the right-hand side for Estevao now. Looking to go at the full-back. Estevao on the outside. Cuts that across. Takes a deflection. Will be a corner. Good defending there by the skipper, Kenneth Taylor, who comes across from midfield to try and stop the young Brazilian. You can see how he's so electrifying in the box. He's capable of going both ways. He really has a bright future at Chelsea. Infinite ceiling, whatever he wants to be. Providing that he keeps everything going here. It's a corner for Chelsea. First of the match. Estevao with the ball in. Flick on header. I think it came off the Ajax player. Yep, it'll be another corner. Just trying to get a head on it. You can see Chelsea were trying to threaten the near post there. Jarell Hato was trying to make himself a nuisance. Trying to just flick that back into the danger area. Corner at the other end now. Enzo Fernandez looking to take it. Enzo's corner delivery has assisted Joao Pedro once from the corner against Fulham. Can he get a good delivery here? It's a terrible delivery. Oh, somehow that was very poor from Enzo Fernandez, getting absolutely nothing on it. Seems that Romeo Lavia just came across. German referee making it clear. Enzo Maresca with just over 10 minutes on the clock. Won't be really happy with the start. Ajax are not flying in the league. They're fourth in the Eredivisie, so Chelsea in fifth. You expect Chelsea to be a bit more better, especially with the midfield that we have. But there hasn't been a time where we just look to hold on to the ball and progress it in the opposition half. What Vega's doing very well to hold off the challenge from Tosin. Played out in nice patterns here. Johnny Heitinga's team are balling out here. The switch. Oh, that is nearly a brilliant take there from Raul Moro. Bit of flair on the touchline. Needed something special to try and bring that down. To his credit, the touch was excellent, but he just ran out of room. Yep, it's time that Chelsea just grab a hold of this game now. Need Romeo Lavia and Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo to all combine here. You can see Enzo Fernandez is occupying as the right-sided number 10, with Buonanotte as the left 10. Ooh, Enzo has been robbed off the ball. Caicedo comes biting into the challenge, and it's a good thing. Enzo Fernandez has not started this game well so far. Errant pass getting caught so far. It's his first game back after the international break. Didn't feature against Nottingham Forest. Expect him to just start getting going again. Might take a bit of time. So far, nothing that Philip Jorgensen has had to do, but the one moment that he had to just show a bit of a commanding presence, he really did fail, as Enzo Fernandez finds Mark Guiu looking to take that over the keeper. And that is Enzo Fernandez in a nutshell. Picks his head up. Good weight of pass there for Mark Guiu. Tries to just flick that over Remco Pasveer. He's very much on side. He muscles the challenge. Could he have gone around the keeper? Maybe not. Don't take advantage of the corner. That's much better there from Enzo Fernandez. Exactly what he's capable of doing. His ability to pick passes anywhere on the pitch. Here's Hato. Lavia back to Hato. Games like this is where you get to see a lot of these players who might not feature a lot in the Premier League, but in the Cups is where they have to look to make their name here. Estevao, Willian, brilliant. Oh, that is a interesting pass there from Estevao. Too much on it, but you can see he's trying to be as direct as possible in his approach. They're trying to go winger to winger there from Estevao to Gittins. Achumpong and Tyreek George behind the coach. Two Chelsea boys. Achumpong is now, looks like, has sealed that starting 11 spot at centre back for Enzo Maresca. Fantastic to see, because started 2 games against Liverpool and then against Forest, and now you want him to see him at the weekend as well against Sunderland. Here's Wesley Fofana, who, good to see him on the pitch every time that he does manage to find fitness. He's been plagued with injuries since he joined Chelsea from Leicester City. £70 million. He was one of the big money signings in the first era of the Clear Lake Capital. Gittins with a clever pass, looking to just lift that over to Jarell Hato, who tries to go around the defender. Itakura just came across, made sure that was mopped up. Here's Sotalo. Oh, Estevao pressing well there. Presses very well, but Ajax come away with the ball, but with a stamp. It's a foul and a yellow card. First yellow card of the game there, and I think it is to Kenneth Taylor. Yep, the captain now. He'll have to tread Soft ground now. Look, he does a good bit of skill. Oh, it's a bad challenge on Buonanotte. Oh, it's a leg breaker, you know. It isn't. Oh, that is very bad. He's very fortunate. He could walk, you know. If that is reviewed, it's a yellow card and he gets away with that one. It's a high challenge. That is a leg breaker, man. Oh, yes, it is. The captain is very lucky if he manages to stay on the pitch. That is a very bad challenge. Buonanotte is fortunate. He is very lucky that nothing happens. He's still on the deck. It's unfortunate for him because that is a very bad challenge from the Ajax captain. He's lost control of the situation and he'll be a lucky, lucky boy. I think the referee is going to be sent to the monitor. And if that's the case, he's going to be sent off here. There's no doubt in my mind. The yellow card has been rescinded. Chelsea get a huge boost here. 16 minutes on the clock. Kenneth Taylor, the captain of Ajax, gets a straight red card after a high challenge on Facundo Buonanotte. Nightmare for Johnny Heitinga. Well, they were playing well. They were competing here at Stamford Bridge. This is a real gut punch for the Dutch side. And it's the captain too. That's a huge letdown. Straight red for Taylor. Chelsea now going to be playing against 10 men for about 75 minutes plus. So huge favourites from here on forward. We need to see a better Chelsea here. Absolutely no two ways about it. Buonanotte is back on his feet, which is very, very good. Really good news. I mean, that could have ended very badly. We will test out that leg, whether or not he's okay to carry on. But Chelsea have a free kick. Take it short here. Enzo Fernandez and Esteban nearly getting in each other's way. Left-footed ball into the box. It's not worked well. It's a cross goal. Guillou! 1-0! Marc Guillou gets his first Champions League goal for Chelsea. And Ajax's misery has been compounded. A red card and a goal in a span of a minute. Ajax now in all sorts of trouble if Chelsea have the lead at the bridge. Kenneth Taylor, the captain of Ajax, must be looking at this in horror. They were competing at the bridge. They were looking fine. Chelsea were rarely threatening. But the Ajax fans looking at this will be in real horror now. Chelsea work it short. It doesn't look like we do too good with it. It somehow keeps the ball alive. It's Fofana's header. Guillau's definitely onside. It's a finish that comes up against the ground and into the back of the net. We'll take it. It's 1-0 for Chelsea. Wesley Fofana getting an assist in the Champions League for the Blues. Enzo Maresca will be celebrating, but he'll know that he's gotten a bit of fortune, a bit of luck that is turning his way. We saw against Nottingham Forest where Chelsea won 3-0. It was not a 3-0 game because Forest created some excellent chances themselves that they could have very easily scored. Came out with a clean sheet somehow. They were clinical in front of goal against set pieces coming to our rescue. It's a good thing that Chelsea are now having a very good set piece threat. They defend that very well too, so it's good to see that the Brentford set piece coach Cuevas, his ideas are coming through on the pitch here for Chelsea. For John Heitinga and his team, it's going to be a tough 70 minutes at the bridge. The fans who have been waiting for this game since, I think 2019 was the last time we played against each other. It was a 4-4 game at the bridge. Reece James scoring the fourth. Ajax were 4-1 at some point in the game. I think in the 50th minute, Donny van der Beek scored and Ajax were 4-1 up. Chelsea were looking in all sorts of trouble. Ajax get 2 red cards. Penalty. Reece James scoring. Aspilicueta scoring to make it 5-4. But that was ruled out for a handball on Tammy Abraham. I remember that game very clearly as Gittins looking to venture forward. Caicedo. Buonanotte. Guiu. Buonanotte again. Good combination here from the youngsters, but they lose out. Let's see how brave Ajax will be with the ball. Weghorst is strong and he lays it off very well, and Hato is excellent in the challenge. That is much better from the ex-Ajax captain. He was front foot in the challenge, but Wout Weghorst did very well. Weghorst, of course, played for Burnley and Manchester United in the Premier League. He was the starting number 9 for Netherlands in the World Cup in Qatar. Remember his 2 goals against Argentina. Second one was what? Last minute goal, which was a short free kick. Some goals just stick in your memory, don't they? As Gittins on the left hand side. Hato, Chelsea now dominating possession as... Oh, what a ball that is from Tosin. Looks to find Estevao. Brilliant bit of skill there by the Brazilian. He bites into the challenge there. The left back catches Estevao by the looks of it. And the Ajax players have been really crunching into the challenges. Saw the captain already pick up a red card. Ooh, it is a bad challenge. His studs are up. This is not good, really. That's a yellow card. Yuri Bas on it. Estevao somehow kept his feet, but had his studs on the foot. Could be a very painful. Heitinga was a no-nonsense defender back in the day when he was a centre-back. You can see a few of those qualities starting to just fizzle into the Ajax team. Lavia. Chelsea looking to control the midfield. Gittins on the left-hand side. Looking for his first goal involvement for Chelsea towards the back stick. Ooh, the run was made by Estevao Willian. You can see the 2 wingers are trying to find each other with these long balls into the box with the diagonals. Well, Ajax looking to waste no time here. Substitution being made. Johnny Heitinga looking to do a bit of damage limitation here. I wouldn't say damage limitation early, but it's almost game management here because they need to try and get into half-time at 1-0 as the number 10, Oscar Glock, comes off and it's Mokio in his place. We'll see where Mokio will operate in the early stages. Should be in midfield, replacing Kenneth Taylor. Johnny Heitinga forced to make that conservative substitution. The number 10 has to come off. That is a big blow for Ajax in terms of trying to create something in the Chelsea box. Nearly halfway through the first half. It wasn't as straightforward as it looks as the scoreline suggests. Ajax were competing very well until their captain Kenneth Taylor had a rush of blood to the head. Straight red card for him. Here's Tosin. Caicedo. Chelsea looking to almost manage this game themselves. Just have to work out the deep block. This is good training for Sunderland, mind you, because we will face a deep block there. Here's Gittins trying to go around the outside. He's such a good burst of pace. Jamie Gittins, that is excellent. It's a save made by the goalkeeper, but Jamie Gittins, that is exactly what we want to see from him. I think there was a block there from Itakura. Jamie Gittins just burst past Lucas Rosa with such ease. They take the corner shot. Estevao on his right foot. Lays it off. It's Moises Caicedo. That goes well wide. The Ecuadorian has been in his best goal scoring touch since joining the Blues. 3 goals in the Premier League already for him. 2 of them absolute bangers. The one against Brentford was very good. The one against Liverpool was one of the goal of the season contenders where he ripped the top corner. That was a game that we really had to win to snap that winless streak that we are going against. I mean, Brentford, Manchester United, Brighton, add Bayern Munich to it. It was a terrible week for Chelsea. Since then, it has steadied. Wesley Fofana is far too casual with the ball there, but Romeo Lavia is so strong. And now Chelsea can break here. Enzo Fernandez could have found Gittins. Instead, he carries it further and now shifts it towards Esteval Willian instead. Good play there from Enzo. Esteval Willian. Shot is easily blocked. Oh, that's a needless foul there by Buonanotte. That would have gone for a corner. Has to be a lot smarter. Interesting there by Enzo Fernandez. He could have slid the pass early to Jamie Gittins. Instead, he just switches the play out to Esteval Willian. That wasn't a foul really by Buonanotte. It was a clever bit of play to just buy a bit of time out of there for Ajax, who have really struggled since Chelsea have scored and they've been down to 10 men. Just trying to get a grip of the game here. Chelsea now with all the statistics, all the numbers in their favours, and can't really hold too much weight to it. It's all about the scoreline here. Good header there. Enzo Fernandez goes back to Tosin. Tosin does very well. Buonanotte looking to feed that forward to Gittins. Good play here from the two youngsters. Gittins switches it across. It's Caicedo again. Moises Caicedo deflection. 2-0. Well, Ajax's luck goes from bad to worse here. Moises Caicedo will claim it. Takes a hefty deflection, but far too much room for Moises Caicedo, who does not need a second invitation. And Chelsea are now coasting at the bridge. Well, you have to close him down now. This is a warning for everybody who faces Moises Caicedo, knowing that he has got this in his bag here. Buonanotte fed it to Jamie Gittins very nicely. Gittins lays it off to Caicedo. Takes a touch, gets it out of his foot. That is a massive deflection. But we'll absolutely claim it is on target. Might go in favour of Caicedo. We'll wait and see. Completely wrong foot's Pasveer. Yep, it's on target. I think that will be credited to a Moises Caicedo goal, but it's 2-0. Enzo Maresca can relax now. Mark Guiu and Moises Caicedo making it 2-0 for Chelsea. But the clean sheet will be paramount now for the Blues. Yes, it's a much changed defense, but it's an experienced defense, mind you. Generally play with Reece James, Achimpong, Trevor Chalobah. If you look at the three here, in Hato, Tosin and Fofana, a lot more experience. Well, yesterday we saw some crazy results in the Champions League. PSG winning by 7-2, Napoli losing 6-1, Arsenal putting 4 past Atletico Madrid. Barcelona scored a bunch, was it 6 or 7 themselves? Kind of lost count after they absolutely wiped the floor against Olympiacos. So you're just looking at a high-scoring Champions League week here. Is Chelsea going to join the party? We should. We absolutely should. It's 2-0 and good position here with Ajax down to 10 men. It's a bit of a training exercise for Chelsea, but still an opportunity to go out there and really go for it. Gittins with the ball in. The flick-on's not clear. Esteval's touch. Takes another touch. Should look for the pass here, Esteval. He just does exactly that. Cross comes back into it. Well defended. Moro trying to make himself a defensive presence. Chelsea win the ball back. Tosin. Caicedo. Fofana. Chelsea dominating the ball here. Ajax under the pump. They're going to have a defensive exercise here for the next half an hour. Gittins. And looking at his 1v1 abilities, he can go both ways. It's brilliant, isn't it? Enzo Fernandez towards the far stick. Oh, that's pretty poor there. I think Enzo has to go back to Gittins here. He's not trusting Jamie Gittins with a couple of passes by the looks of it. The 1-2 has to go back to Gittins. Instead, he looks for a improbable ball into the box. Jamie Gittins is looking electric so far. Very good to see him go after the fullback every chance he gets. The good thing we've seen from him is he goes on the outside and the inside. So as a fullback, kind of guessing as to which way the young Englishman will go. Lavia, oh, he gets caught there. Ajax work it out well. Here's Wout Weghorst. Good pass onto the right-hand side to Raul Moro, the number 7. Drives into the box. Tosin does well. Chelsea clear the danger though. Buonanotte. Oh, that's a foul there. It's a penalty. Jarell Hato, of all people, concedes a penalty against his former club. And Ajax have a route back into this contest. Oh, it's not Hato, it's Tosin. That's a clear pen there. It's very poor there from Tosin. Cannot believe that. Tosin Adarabioyo, with such a poor challenge in the box, gives Ajax a way back into this contest here. It looked like at 2-0 it was done and dusted, but a penalty here for Ajax means that they have a way to try and half the deficit and stay in this game. Very poor from Chelsea. Well, I'd say Chelsea, but it's Tosin Adarabioyo who, such a reckless tackle in the box. Raul Moro was not really going anywhere with it. It was a pass that was made which was Chelsea easily recovered. But he stamps on the foot of the Spanish winger. It's a painful one for him. Talked about how it's high-scoring games and Chelsea looking to go big here at the bridge, but it never is straightforward with Chelsea, is it? Well, I know that Rob Sanchez is a good penalty stopper. We will see Philip Jorgensen under the bright lights at the bridge here against Wout Weghorst. Experienced campaigner, scored big goals in his career, has an opportunity now to bring his side back within one. Big moment in this match here. Chelsea looking to preserve the clean sheet, which might be wiped out here. It's Wout Weghorst! Jorgensen gets a hand to it, but it finds its way to the back of the net. Jorgensen will be very disappointed that he does not keep that out, having guessed the right way, having gotten a hand to it. But Ajax now have a way back into this contest. Tosin Adarabioyo will not be happy with himself. Oh, should save that, you know. It's not in the corner. He's gotten a hand to it. It goes under him. Philip Jorgensen. Give him points for guessing the right way, but having got there, he really has to stop it. Well, the Ajax fans finally have something to cheer about. I think the 17 or 18 minutes since the red card to their captain, it's been one-way traffic really, and now they have a way back. Hato playing a 1-2. Jarell Hato, as Chelsea look for a quick response. Lavia battles. Surely a foul on him. Caicedo switches it out to the right-hand side for Estevao. Chelsea look to respond swiftly here. Estevao Willian loses his footing, but somehow, loses his footing again on the third time. Yuri Bas just comes across. Estevao battling, does very well, but it's out for a goal kick. It's getting very feisty here. You can see the challenges have been flying in. When you see someone like Moises Caicedo fuming there, might be for a reason. Oh, you can see that there was a clear foul there on Romeo Lavia. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Had his hands all over him, Enzo Fernandez. Trying to explain that to the referee. Remco Pasveer, the experienced goalkeeper, has taken the captain's armband from Kenneth Taylor. Moises Caicedo kind of lashed out there at Wout Weghorst, but it was both of them kind of having a go at each other. Wout Weghorst is just trying to have a bit of an influence here, trying to just fire his team up. 11 minutes plus added on time remaining in this first half. The game suddenly has caught a bit of life now. Good from a neutral's point of view, but from a Chelsea point of view, this has been a forgetful half of football. We haven't really done much or be consistently dangerous. And as I mentioned before, when the red card went, this is going to be a good exercise in how we're going to try and open up deep blocks. Another foul there by Wout Weghorst. It's on Caicedo again. That Little dynamic will be very interesting. Enzo Fernandez finds Wesley Fofana. He's got the assist for the goal. His unselfish header back into the danger area. Found an unmarked Mark Guiu for Chelsea's first goals. Caicedo scoring the second from distance, taking a wicked deflection. Since then, Wout Weghorst scoring from the spot after Tosin Adarabioyo needlessly fouled. Again, it's getting really feisty. Yeah, you can see the challenges now biting in. Chelsea clearly dominating possession and the passes completed statistics. Again, as I mentioned before, that's a meaningless stat here. And Chelsea are going to be up against 10 men for about 75 minutes, not including stoppage time. So, yep, we expect better. Mark Guiu really pressing well. Pasvey's pass is very good from the keeper. Very composed from the experienced campaigner. Good switch out, but again, Fofana's touches have been far too casual. Yes, he's been out for a long time, finally starting a game, but he needs to sharpen up here. He's done the right thing there to try and cushion the ball on his chest down, but it's far too casual. Gittins trying to go on the outside of Lucas Rosa. Ball into the box. They don't clear it away and should be a comfortable grab. It was Bonanote. He made the late run into the box. Jamie Gittins. Good delivery. You can see Mark Guiu was trying to attack that. Good to see the number 9 and number 10 in the box for that situation. That's exactly what we want to see. Tosin looking to battle. He tangles with Wout Weghorst, who's trying to win a bit of sympathy points here from the referee. Oh yeah, he's going to get some sympathy, that's for sure, because he's got a cut there on his forehead. Must be a high boot here from Tosin Adarabioyo. It isn't. It might be just an awkward landing. Yep, it's unfortunate. It's nothing in the first action. It's just how he lands awkwardly. Nothing that Tosin could have done. You can see his boot just falls on Wout Weghorst's head. The stud just catching him on the side. Oh, it's pouring down with blood now. Weghorst is going to need bandages and pronto. With the rain pouring down at the Stamford Bridge, he really does have blood all over to the side of his face there. Tosin Adarabioyo not be happy with his start to the game, conceding a needless penalty when really wasn't needed. Weghorst getting patched up here. A good time to check the other scores in the Champions League. Well, it hasn't been the goal fest as we expected. 0-0 at Santiago Bernabeu. Real Madrid and Juventus playing out a 0-0 so far. Monaco and Tottenham 0-0 too. Liverpool and Frankfurt, well, that you want to keep a close eye on it because of Liverpool's form. Frankfurt took the lead in the 26th minute and then Ekitike scored in the 35th. So it's not all roses there either. Looking at the goals that Chelsea scored, it was Bonanote's ball into the box that bounced in front of Fofana, who headed it across, and then Caicedo from distance getting a good slice of fortune. But good to see Caicedo now having a real threat from outside the box. 3 goals in the league, 1 in the Champions League. That'll do. Well, the AJAX medical staff are taking their time to patch him up. He's had a good game so far, to be fair. The way that he's held it up and having to do a thankless job really in the rain in London. Here's Hato. Finds Fofana. Heading into the final 5 minutes of normal time. There'll be a fair few added on for stoppages. Again, these long balls do make no sense to me. I don't understand why Chelsea are playing this low percentage football. Especially when we have the ball There's not a lot of pressure on it. The first instinct seems to be to just switch the ball. Just switch it across. Aerial balls, difficult to control. Chelsea don't have too much size there in terms of presence and physical hold-up play. Mark Guiu, we haven't seen too much of him, but otherwise, with Gittins, Estevao, Buonanotte, Enzo Fernandez. That's a foul there. It's Fofana. He's curious as to how that was called. And guess who it is? It's Wout Weghorst again, who's in the thick of things. Excuse me. They haven't really bandaged him up. They just put a couple of staples on his forehead and he's ready to go and compete again. Gladiator-like. Free kick here for Ajax. These are the kind of situations that Ajax will be looking to try and take advantage of, because they're not going to get too much in terms of open play chances, but set pieces is a great leveler here. Cross comes in towards the far stick. It's a good thing that he can't bring that under control, because Chelsea's marking was a bit non-existent there. Peeled off onto the right-hand side was the centre-back, Josip Sotalo, the Croatian. He'll have his work cut out here, but he's up against Mark Guiu and not Joao Pedro, who would have been a completely different proposition for the Ajax centre-halves. Hato finds Caicedo. Switch of players on and he finds that very nicely. Here's Estevao. Decent ball in. Oh, again. This time it nearly pays off. They tried to go from wing to wing again. You can see Enzo Fernandez and Jamie Gittins both attacking the box. You can understand why Chelsea are doing this, because every time Chelsea have the ball at one side of the pitch, Ajax naturally will try and follow them and try and condense the pitch as much as possible, and the space will be on the other flank. And that's where Gittins has a lot of space, but Chelsea have to try and find him in those situations. Here's Weghorst. Jyoti Mukhi has not really gotten at the game so far, but finally getting a couple of touches now. Here's Lucas Rosa. Kyo now. Raul Moro back to his centre half, the Japanese. Ko Itakura. Oh, they've given the ball away in a risky situation. Good to see Jamie Gittins really harrowing the defenders there. Here's Mukio. Good one-touch play there, but Romeo Lavia comes across and does very well. Buonanotte flicks that over brilliantly to Jamie Gittins, and now Chelsea can open up here. Gittins on the left-hand side, looking to take on the play. Instead goes for Enzo Fernandez. Oh, surely that's a foul. It's a penalty. It's such a shocking challenge. It's Wout Weghorst. What is he doing in the box there? After scoring the pen, he concedes one. That is a shocking challenge by Wout Weghorst on Enzo Fernandez. We'll talk about poor decision making in the box here. Jamie Gittins just slides the pass here to Enzo. Oh, that is such a bad challenge. What is he even complaining about? That is so bad from Wout Weghorst. A man of his experience goes sliding in, expecting Enzo Fernandez to chop, who doesn't have to do anything. If he looks at the challenge again, he'll know how foolish he does look for this, because that was a shocking challenge. Well, Chelsea have the opportunity to restore a 2-goal advantage heading into the halftime break. It's the captain Enzo Fernandez on the spot up against Remco Pasveer. We've already seen one penalty scored by Wout Weghorst. That one should have been saved by Jorgensen. It's Enzo Fernandez! 3-1 to Chelsea. No mistake from the skipper. The keeper guesses the right way, but the direction and the power on it was too much to handle. And that is very poor from Wout Weghorst to give away a penalty in that manner. Chelsea have the 2-goal advantage yet again. And now looking a bit more comfortable heading into the half-time break. We're into stoppage time. So much has happened in the 45 minutes here. That's much better from Enzo Fernandez, scoring his first Champions League goal this campaign. Enzo and Caicedo scoring again. Well, they have 3 goals each in the league. They really are competing, aren't they, in terms of scoring goals. Fantastic to see the two midfielders. Such a bad challenge. I mean, there's no way to disguise that. You could see his teammates' faces as well. I mean, what are you doing? Ajax would have thought that just get into the second half with the 1-goal advantage. Oh, such a shocking mistake by the keeper. Chelsea nearly pounce on it. Well, Ajax have to be careful here. They might implode from within. 4 minutes of stoppage time remaining. So much has happened in this first half. 4 goals, a red card, 2 penalties. Oh, risk taken again. Good pressure there by Enzo Fernandez though. Tries to wriggle out of a tight corner there. Rosa finds Moro. Rosa again. Itakura being harried by Mark Guiu. Who's back to Pasveer, who has to get his pass accurate this time. Chelsea really hounding them well, but they've worked it out very nicely with the long ball. It's a foul there by Wesley Fofana. Not a good challenge by the Frenchman on Wout Weghorst, who's been all action for Ajax. He's been battling everywhere on the pitch. Seems that the foul has been committed by Wes Fofana, but it's a rough forearm there by Weghorst. Weghorst is playing like a throwback centre forward here. Physicality, rough play that Chelsea defenders are going to have to try and deal up against, because he's not looking to leave anything short here. He's gone with the forearm, just rakes with the elbow. You can see why Fofana wasn't happy with it. Back to the football here as Mika Götze, the Belgian, looking to try and bring Ajax back into this. Trying to look at Chelsea's shape here defensively. Again at the far stick, Guiu is the only one marking. Again, the quality of delivery has been very poor there from Ajax. There was a foul in the build-up though. This is the second opportunity that Ajax have had from a similar position, but on both occasions the ball into the box has been very disappointing. Well, Maresca will be happy with the scoreline, but not with the performance. We haven't exercised control in this game. That's the big problem. I mean, it just looks like Ajax still finding their way past the Chelsea press. That needs to be cut out in the second half. We have seen Chelsea improve significantly in second half of games. That is a sign of a good coach, mind you. But also we have to try and, a good coach will figure out how we need to do better in first half of games here. Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia, 3 midfielders looking to combine here. Enzo looking to move that forward. Beautiful football this from Chelsea. Lavia shifts it on to the right hand side. Estevao, oh, he's been bundled over but keeps his balance. The second one might have been a foul. It is, and it's a penalty. The referee is saying there's nothing I can do about that. This is really poor defending here from Yuri Bas. Johnny Heitinger cannot believe what's happening here. Bas doesn't even complain. He knows. Well, Estevao's lost his balance. He gets back onto his feet. There's no need to bite into the challenge there. He's fouled him once and he's fouled him twice. Absolutely. That is a penalty as well. All 3 penalties have been straightforward calls. It's so bad. He steps on his foot. Why does he do that? The ball is so far away from him. Look at this from Enzo Fernandez. He's given the ball to Estevao Willian. This is unselfish and good captaincy from Enzo Fernandez, but you expect your number 1 penalty taker to take it, especially when the game is not fully to bed. But it's a big moment for Estevao Willian after scoring his first Premier League goal against Liverpool. Has an opportunity from the spot to score against Ajax. It's Estevao Willian. Oh, he bangs that penalty. 4-1 to Chelsea. Nerveless from the teenager. He goes straight to Enzo Fernandez to celebrate. That is good work there from Enzo, especially when it does work out. Chelsea are 3 goals clear, playing against 10 men. This should be a much more comfortable second half. 4-1 to the Blues. Well, the type of goals that Ajax have conceded will have Johnny Heitinga's head in space. Very good pen there from Estevao. Excellent ball striking. Well, to Pasvir's credit, on both occasions he has guessed the right way, but no chance in stopping either pen. 4-1 to Chelsea. Johnny Heitinga having a very tough return here. Back to England. The rain pouring down. Ajax not showing the discipline that was needed in a big Champions League game as the referee sounds the whistle for the end of what has been a crazy first half. 4-1 to Chelsea after Ajax captain Kenneth Taylor picked up a straight red card for a dangerous challenge on Facundo Buonanotte. And from there, Chelsea just took complete control. Mark Guiu scoring soon after the red card. Caicedo adding the second after a blast from distance. Wout Weghorst scoring from the spot after a penalty, a needless penalty was conceded by Tosin Adarabioyo really, and then 2 more penalties in the game. Enzo Fernandez slotting the first one and the second. Estevao Willian scoring from the spot. 3 very poor challenges in terms of the penalties conceded. Tosin will be relieved, very relieved, that his opposition players have done something equally foolish as he has. Well, 4-1 at the break. This should be a comfortable second half, and really don't want to have that moment where 45 minutes after that Chelsea implode, but that cannot and should not happen in this stage and at this moment of our development as a team. We're trying to see situations where, yeah, there'll be times where we don't play well, but how well do we actually respond to those situations? How well do we fight adversity? Do we crumble if a goal goes against us? What's our reaction like? I mean, there are so many facets to judge the growth of a team. Well, it will be a good time to check what's been happening in the other games. The Liverpool fans just want to see the score before I make an assessment. The last thing they'll want is to head into the weekend's game against Brentford on the back of 5 defeats back to back. I mean, things could, like they say, it couldn't go from bad to worse. It couldn't get any worse, but it can. And it can get really bad very quickly. So from Liverpool's point of view, they'll want to try and sort that out. And by the looks of it, they have. Ekitike scored in the 35th minute, Van Dijk in the 39th, and Konate in the 44th. So the 2 centre halves for Liverpool bailing out the trouble here. This is where, from Liverpool's point of view, they'll want someone like Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak to find the back of the net. They're 3-1 up. They're coasting. They should be comfortable. Looks like Jeremy Frimpong picked up an injury in the 19th minute. Real Madrid and Juventus 0-0 the scoreline there. I want to see the lineup that both teams have taken out here. Courtois, Valverde, Asensio, Militao, Carreras, Chouameni, Bellingham, Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz, Vinicius and Mbappe. Very strong team here for Real Madrid. Ooh, this is a very defensive lineup here from Juventus. Igor Tudor, I mean, Pierre Kalulu playing as a right wing back, Koopmeiners and Thuram, Weston McKennie and Yildiz as the two number 10s behind Vlahovic. A pretty negative lineup here from Igor Tudor. Let's have a look at all the possession stats and stuff like that. Yep, as expected, Madrid dominating the ball, shots, everything. Looks like Juventus are just trying to participate here and not get beat. But to their credit, 0-0 at halftime is exactly what they would have wanted. Bayern Munich are 3-0 up against Club Brugge. Carl Kane and Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz has been scoring every game, hasn't he? What impact from him. You look at how he's performing for Bayern Munich and how they are playing as a team, and you look at Liverpool. I think a lot of the, I wouldn't say a lot, but there was a consensus that Luis Diaz was a frustrating player for Liverpool because he was unpredictable and maybe his final ball wasn't as consistent. His final actions maybe, but every time I saw him play, and fair enough, it isn't as much as Liverpool fans, but he's a real threat, man. He's direct running. He's got a good shot on him. A lot like Pedro Neto. He can frustrate the fans. I mean, people watching might look at it. You might look at his stats and say he's done well, but when you do look at him for a span of 90 minutes, it does look like, oh, it's very frustrating. The final ball can do so much better, especially when you're an experienced player. So I can draw this parallel between Luis Diaz and Pedro Neto. Again, Pedro Neto, again in the weekend when he played against Forest, yes, he got a goal and assist, but his first half performance was terrible. I mean, not a single action was redeemable from him. But in the second half, he is decisive. He makes those moments. And these are very valuable players to have in your team. And this is not even mentioning Pedro Neto's continuous ability to hit the back post with his crosses and then work tirelessly for the team in terms of off-the-ball work. So he's got a lot of great attributes, Pedro Neto. And he is the senior winger in our side. So we will lean on him for most of the season. So you'll want to see a bit more consistency. I think when Liam Delap comes back into the team from his injury, I think Maresca said that he might be back. I don't think we'll risk him before this international break, that's for sure. The next one maybe. But I think when we have a proper number 9 to try and aim at, I think Pedro Neto will have a lot more assists because of those abilities to cross the ball into the box from both wings. I thought Gittins was good in the first half. Showed a lot of promise in terms of how he just, took on his man. I liked it that he went on both sides, outside and the inside, showing versatility. The two wingers, Estivao and Jamie Gittins, were looking for each other with those long diagonal passes. That's another pattern that was emerging in that first half. I think with that 10 men, Ajax will have to do a lot of work off the ball. We've seen them, they had to make a substitution. But I think Kenneth Taylor will be looking at this. And the way that next 30 minutes unfolded, every decision that went against Ajax would have just made his heart sink lower and lower. But he has only himself to blame for it. The tackles have been flying in from both teams, really. Weghorst has been all action for Ajax Amsterdam. Yep, this game has been, this game week, in terms of Wednesday night action, has been nothing like yesterday. Arsenal 4-0, PSG 7-2. The defending champions are showing that they're not looking to mess about. Dortmund won 4-2 against Copenhagen. I think it was Newcastle who beat Benfica 3-0. Jose Mourinho, back-to-back losses for him in the Champions League after losing at Stamford Bridge 1-0. Napoli losing 6-2. I mean, what is it about Antonio Conte? And there are two things with Antonio Conte, right? His record in Europe and his second season. Now, these two have been a consistent pattern that have been emerging from Antonio Conte from his many years as manager, from Juventus to Chelsea to when he moved to Spurs. He didn't get the time, but then now when you look at Napoli, he works absolute miracles in the first season that he's at the club. I mean, everybody buys into the project, right? I mean, he is that charismatic manager. He gets everyone going, and if they don't, he holds you by the collar, grabs you by the neck, and drags him with you. He takes inferior players or players that you might not look at as title-winning players, and he makes them champions. We saw him do that at Inter. We saw him do that with Napoli. Chelsea, when they finished 10th the season before. Granted, they won the Premier League the season when Mourinho won it. But Antonio Conte in his second season, this has to be studied as to why it goes completely pear-shaped. I think Eden Hazard described it very well. Somebody, I think it was Johnny Obi Mikel, who asked him that which was your best season that you had when you were at Chelsea in the 7 seasons that you were. In my mind, I was thinking maybe Sarri, where he was absolutely phenomenal, transcendental. I mean, that's when Real Madrid got him the next year, spent all that money despite him having just 1 year left on his contract. But he said 2016-17, the season that Chelsea won the league under Antonio Conte. And Hazard was absolutely unbelievable in that season. But he's had so many of them. I was just curious to why he picked 2016-17, and he was saying that there was absolutely no joy in the training, in leading up to the games. There was absolutely no joy in the football in terms of it's just tactical work. It is very draining for players who enjoy just having the ball at their feet and playing, Yes, there's a lot of tactical work that is involved, and especially with a detail-oriented coach like Antonio Conte. But Hazard saying that the only time I could enjoy on the pitch was in the 90 minutes that the game was going on. And that's why you saw how he played in that kind of manner on a level that was head and shoulders above the rest of the league. So Antonio Conte now, yes, Lukaku is injured, but he's got Rasmus Højlund in the team. Antonio Conte actually complained in the press conference. Now, again, I don't want to be quoted on this because I could be wrong, or it could be just something that I said, but it was, he's got 9 signings into the club this season, and it's like, it's too much. So when you say something like too much, when the club gives you 9 new players, granted that a few have to go in and out, but your main core is still there. Yes, a few injuries. Buongiorno, the centre-back, has been injured for a while. Of course, Lukaku, their main man, their goal-scoring source, has been out too. So you can understand as to why that he will be frustrated. But when the board hands you 8 or 9 new players and you say it's too much, it takes time, in a negative manner, there are ways to kind of go about it, but Antonio Conte does not mince his words, does it? But it does come across as very rough, very harsh, so you can understand why he gets out of flavor very quickly. And the second season syndrome for Antonio Conte is real. Again, that 2016-17 season for Chelsea, I thought Chelsea were going to build a dynasty under Antonio Conte. The way we played with the back three, it was revolutionary in the Premier League. But the second season, 2017-18, yes, he was not helped by the board. I will be the first one to defend Antonio Conte in that manner, because of the signings we made after we were league winners were all shocking. We had Morata, Bakayoko, who else? Zappacosta. I'm forgetting names, but it doesn't get any better. It was really bad. I mean, we did not help Eden Hazard whatsoever in that spell, and it was some of the most turgid football you'll ever see, and you just wanted the season to end. I remember the game against Huddersfield. That was the game where Chelsea were mathematically out of the race for Champions League football the season after. That game is when even I turned and said, I understand that he won the league for us the season before. He's going to win us the FA Cup, sure, but sometimes when you just look at the football, it could be soul-crushing. I mean, it's the same thing, time after time, repetitive football, and if it doesn't go your way and you're not winning games, it can be a really hard watch. And you could probably understand that the same thing might be going on there at Napoli. They have someone like Kevin De Bruyne who can elevate their play, that's for sure, because, again, De Bruyne, he may not have the legs, but he still has the IQ and the passing, so he remains a non-stop threat. Now, can he start being consistent? Can Antonio Conte trust him playing week in, week out? We'll wait and see. Well, I did not expect the halftime of Chelsea versus Ajax to go the Antonio Conte way, but I looked at the first half between Chelsea and Ajax. There were a lot of incidents, and that was pretty much it. Other than that, it there's not much to really go about. There were big incidents. I mean, 5 goals, 1 red card, everything happening here. Could Chelsea ring in the changes? I'd be very interested to see. I would love to see Caicedo not come off for the second half here. Yes, he was rested for the first 45 minutes, but we are 4-1 up. Do we need to, yeah, he's going to come out, that's for sure. I have no doubts about it, but this is an opportunity for Enzo Maresca to be a bit brave. Just use a few of his substitutes maybe, and fair play to him. Look at that. 3 substitutes coming on. Trevor Chalobah, Andres Santos, and Tyreek George. He did this against Nottingham Forest as well, but that was because Chelsea were playing very poorly. He made 3 substitutions and the game changed. Now he doesn't want the game to change, but this is game management. This is giving the squad some valuable minutes in the legs, especially someone like Andres Santos, who came back after injury. He started against Nottingham Forest. He was hooked at half time. And Davy Klaassen, experienced midfielder, coming on, and he'll take the captain's armband. A triple substitution for Chelsea. I expect Enzo Fernandez to be one of the players definitely coming off for Andres Santos. Tyreek George might be replacing Mark Guiu, and Trevor Chalobah possibly replacing Wesley Fofana. Well, the confirmation will be there soon as Wout Weghorst comes off for Davy Klaassen. Attacker off for a midfielder, as it's just damage limitation from Ajax's point of view from the next 15 to 20 minutes in the second half. Chelsea will be looking for goals. Fernandez, Adebayo, and Mark Guiu all coming off, as Andres Santos, he's never going to take off Moises Caicedo, is he? Never. They're 4-1 up, you can make the changes, but Moises, you stay right there. Here's Caicedo, back on the way for the start of the second half. From Chelsea's point of view, it's all about game management. Be as comfortable as possible. Be brave, be expansive. Look to play your best football as Estevao goes around the outside. Cut back in on his right foot. Easy grab there for Pasveer. 40-plus-year-old goalkeeper has seen 4 goals in his net this evening. Jarell Hato helping out. He's trying to be touch tight on that occasion to make sure that he's there to put the pressure on. Well, Tosin coming off means Trevor Chalobah will be the centre back. Yep, Ajax's strategy will be just manage the game here. Try and keep possession of the ball as much as possible. Maiko does well. Here's Otalo. Again, the short passing is what Ajax are trying to do, but Chelsea are really stifling them. The man advantage, especially in these areas, will really be helpful here. Well, the Chelsea fans, feet up, enjoying the evening, as the Ajax fans, fair play to them, are still in loud voices here. Gittins. Hato. Now Fofana. Onto the right hand side to Estevao Willian. Here's Wesley Fofana again. Estevao. Trying to score from open play. Scored his first Champions League goal after that second penalty that Chelsea gotten. Caicedo does well to wriggle out of the challenge. Lavia, through pass. brilliant. Could be an opportunity. It's Tyreek George. It's 5-1 to Chelsea. Tyreek George scores 2.5 minutes into the second half. Chelsea work it well here. George, talk about taking full advantage and grabbing your opportunity with both hands. Excellent work there from Ty. He's scoring some big goals here for Maresca. This one, not as important, but very good from him. He scored in the cup when Chelsea really did need it. This time, he scores a goal which really will be a deflating moment for the Ajax fans. Would have probably grabbed a beer at half-time, trying to just calm down. Good bit of play there. It's a massive deflection again, isn't it? Oh, yes, it is. He knew the deflection was there, but it was a really big one there from Lucas Rosa. Chelsea have scored 5 goals. 2 of them pens. 2 of them massive deflected goals, and 1 with a poor defending. So, yep, doesn't matter how they come, but it's been a big game here from Chelsea in terms of goals and trying to climb out the Champions League table. And finally, Moises Caicedo comes off. Josh Achimpong comes off for Chelsea. He was got to give Moises Caicedo another 15-30 minutes, wasn't he? But he decides enough is enough. The game is in the bag, surely. And Josh Achimpong comes on. Bit more defensive solidity for Chelsea. Wonder who's going to be taking Moises' place. Ajax on the move here. Chelsea looking to settle back after that switch. There's so much space at the far stick. Nobody's picking him out. Look at Josh Achimpong. He's not marking anyone. He's fallen asleep completely. Has to look over his shoulder. Ko Itakura was just waiting for the ball to be played. And finally it does. Achimpong, I'm very surprised. I mean, yes, he's just come onto the pitch and he may not be ready for the condition, but just have a look over your shoulder, man. It's all happening here. Here's Fofana. Achimpong. To Esteban Willian now. Here's the youngster Achimpong. Getting 40 minutes in the Champions League in a comfortable game will be good for him. Just get a bit more mileage on the legs as he expects to start in the weekend. Decent shot. It's another attempt. And this time it was Romeo Lavia. Well, Chelsea players are happy to shoot from outside the box. They've gotten a lot of success. Good first touch there from Lavia. It's taken another deflection there. It's another corner for Chelsea. No hesitation to shoot from outside the box as Esteban comes across to take this corner kick. They've taken it short. Chelsea work it well. Esteban's pass is not accurate. James McConnell. The youngster was on loan from Liverpool. Had an unfortunately anonymous first half in terms of trying to make an impact in a game like this in slightly more familiar conditions. Talked about high scoring games tonight, and it seems like only Chelsea is trying to partake on it. I know that Bayern are going to score a bag full of goals. They were 3-0 at half time. I know that they're a team that are hungry for goals. I think with Mark Guiu's substitution, that also means that expect him to start against Sunderland, the team that he was on loan this summer that Chelsea had to cancel after Liam Delap's injury. And expecting João Pedro to play as the number 10 in that match. So, a lot of patterns emerging here. Caicedo and Enzo, both off the pitch. Chelsea now just looking to manage the next 40 minutes. And Chelsea's average age getting younger and younger with all these kids coming through here. Achimpong, 19 years of age. He does look like some player, doesn't he? 6'5". Glides off the turf. He's got great ball manipulation. And he's got the ability to drive forward with the ball. And defending is good too. I mean, that's his number one duty. He does very well as Chalobah pushes the ball forward on the left-hand side. It's an inaccurate pass, not the start that Chalobah was looking for. On the right-hand side, keep it short. It's pretty comfortable here to move out, but again Ajax forced back. They've done well. They need to try and just keep the ball here. That's their best case scenario for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Just be as compact as possible, not take too many risks. Buonanotte does well to dispossess. Here's Esteval. So tricky, the winger here. He can go both ways. Brilliant from Esteval. He's just trying to push that past the defender. Sotalo does very well. The experienced centre-back looks to clear. No one's there. The only presence in terms of hold-up play has been come off in the second half. Wout Weghorst, who scored from the spot, did pick up a yellow card. He was erratic on the pitch. He did concede that horrendous penalty which Enzo Fernandez slotted. Here's Fofana. Esteval again, who's getting a lot of touches here. Chelsea preferring to attack from the right-hand side. Here's Fofana again. Chalobah. Chelsea almost playing like a traditional back four here. The two centre-backs in Chalobah and Fofana. Achimpong as the right-sided right back really, and Jirel Hato as the left back. Here's Achimpong. Esteval gets away from the challenge of Michael. Well, Johnny Heitinger, in terms of damage limitation, would have been hoping that Ajax could have kept the scoreline at 4-1, but Tyreek George's goal, 2.5 minutes into the second half. Good lift ball there for Buonanotte, who nearly got there. Yeah, 10 minutes into the second half. Very comfortable here for Chelsea. Second half has been without incident. Good header there by Achimpong. Difficult to win a header against him. Buonanotte with good feet gets away from the challenge of Klaassen. Buonanotte just stops on a dime and then finds Lavia. Esteval in a central pocket. Buonanotte. Chelsea looking to turn it up. Oh, that's a foul there by Buonanotte. It will be a yellow card. It isn't Buonanotte, it's Esteval Willian. Just lunges into the challenge. Needless, really. It's on the right back, Rosa, who's feeling the effects of the challenge there from the Brazilian. It's a bad challenge, very bad. And some poor challenges have been committed in this match. Esteval Willian, the latest to be guilty of it. The rain has been pouring non-stop at the bridge. It's been a really tough evening here for Ajax, who will remain rooted to the bottom of the Champions League here. 36 teams, and they will be 36 here, and that goal difference is not doing them any good as well. It's 5-1 for Chelsea. It could very easily get worse for them if Chelsea do decide to get a bit ruthless here. Real Madrid have scored against Juventus. Jude Bellingham scoring for the Blancos. Well, Xabi Alonso prefers... We saw in the early games where he preferred Arda Güler as the starting number 10 for them, and Jude Bellingham dropping to the bench. In this game he starts both as a dual 10 with only Tchouaméni holding. Fede Valverde playing as a right back for them, so Xabi Alonso is also trying different things at his new club. Good header there by Achimpong, and Fofana does the same. Cushion headers decent there as we move forward. And the comfortable half an hour expected here at the bridge. Expect more goals too, as I mentioned before. Not just to win, but get that goal difference going. Yep, as it stands, Chelsea in 11th. That's first class. Good ball. Oh, nearly for the through pass. I think Tyreek George is offside. Nope, he isn't. The game will continue. Yep, the offside flag. Raised a bit belated there. Tyreek George getting on the score sheet. So is Mark Guiu. That was very good there from George. Looking to play the 1-2. Saw a bit of him as centre forward last season in the Conference League. Him and Guiu were the players who were playing as the number 9. Actually, it was Tyreek George who was forced to play number 9 after Mark Guiu did a, I want to say, abductor injury. I think it was an abductor injury in the Conference League, which pretty much killed his season. Yuri Bas, who conceded a needless penalty, has been put under pressure. Buonanotte trying to bring that under control. Ajax played that very nicely, but they have nowhere to go. Very good turn. Excellent play this from Ajax. He's dragging his team forward here, Klaassen. McConnell rather. The Liverpool youngster, brilliant. Look at that for personality on the pitch. He had the ball, he had nowhere to go, but he wasn't going to give that up. That's exactly what you want to see. Youngsters taking charge of the situation, being brave, being bold. Set piece opportunity, free kick for Ajax. Take it short. It's cleared away. Well, half an hour plus stoppage time remain. Chelsea 5-1 up here against Ajax Amsterdam. Their captain Kenneth Taylor picking up a red card in the 15th or 16th minute. And since then, it's been all Chelsea. Well, Ajax did score when the scoreline was 2-0. They brought it back to a goal. They thought it could get very interesting in the match. Instead, they concede two very poor and soft penalties. Here's Lavia. George dropping deep. Achimpong. On the right-hand side to Estevao Willian. Estevao towards the far post. Good header there. Achimpong. Lavia. Lavia under pressure. Excellent. Achimpong on the right-hand side. Estevao again. Good feet. He's asking, almost baiting there for a foul, which he's never going to get. Chelsea win the ball back very quickly here. This is going to be a very tiring 30 minutes or so for Ajax. Gittins. George. Achimpong, who scored at the weekend, takes a deflection. Keeper comfortably gathers. Well, Josh Achimpong was the first one to score at the City Ground. Excellent header against Nottingham Forest to give Chelsea the lead in the second half. Enzo Maresca is looking to give youngster Reggie Walsh some game time here. Fantastic. We've seen how Maresca has spoken about the young midfielder in glowing terms. Especially we saw him a couple of times in the Champions League. Now he'll get the opportunity as a Chelsea scholar to represent the club in the Champions League. Ajax have broken here on the right-hand side. And Lavia so clever there. He just pumps the brakes. He knows exactly where the pass is coming. And he reads it like a book. Here's Estevao. Goes around the outside. Push, run. Takes a bit of contact. I think that might be a corner. Yuri Bas comes across. Shoulder to shoulder challenge there with Estevao Willian. Corner for Chelsea. Estevao's all smiles. Maybe expect him to come off. And Reggie Walsh takes the pitch. He will give Romeo Lavia a bit of company in the midfield area. It's not that he needs it, but it'll be nice to see Reggie Walsh get some game time here. Estevao. Cross comes in. It's a good ball. They don't deal with it. And second attempt they do. It was a bit nervy there from AJAX's point of view. Gittins does very well. Pushes the ball forward to Trevor Chalobah. Good burst here from the centre back to Gittins again. Gittins off balance. Harmlessly into the hands of the goalkeeper. Well, Gittins wants to score here. He desperately wants to bag. He knows this is a perfect opportunity to get his first goal for Chelsea. Estevao scored one against Liverpool, now scored one against Ajax. The two midfielders for Chelsea, Enzo and Caicedo, really matching each other in terms of goal tally here. It's Estevao going the long route. Clever pass. Keeps his feet somehow here. Lavia. Estevao Willian. Oh, that was nearly the perfect team goal. I think the goalkeeper has come off the worst. That was sensational play from Estevao Willian and Romeo Lavia. Look at Estevao just drifting into the central pockets. Finds Lavia and then busts his gut to get behind the defensive line. He knows the pass is coming. Look at this from Lavia. Oh, it's nearly inch perfect into the path of Estevao Willian. Oh, what a big moment this is for Reggie Walsh. It is Romeo Lavia who will be coming off for Chelsea. Getting back-to-back starts here, Romeo Lavia. 45 minutes against Forest, 65 against Ajax. Good to see the young Belgian midfielder getting minutes back for Chelsea as number 45 comes off and number 46, Reggie Walsh, the Cobham graduate, the Cobham scholar, comes on here. Maresca has spoken glowingly about him on multiple occasions last season where Chelsea were playing the Conference League, where Reggie Walsh often found himself on the bench, did play a couple of games too, and now has an opportunity up against a big name in Ajax, and that will be the game that he will remember as his first taste of Champions League action here. And Remco, the goalkeeper, good to see him back on his feet. 42-year-old has tried his very best to be the presence. Had to take the captain's armband off Kenneth Taylor once he came off the pitch. Bad red card there, which was rescinded. It was originally given as a yellow card by the referee, but one look at the monitor and that was all that was needed. From there it was the Chelsea show. Mark Guiu scoring after Wesley Fofana's header was very well cushioned into his path. Caicedo scoring from distance, taking a hefty deflection. Wout Weghorst scoring after Adebayo's needless penalty conceded, and then Chelsea get the gift. Not just once, but twice. Enzo Fernandez and Estevao, both who were fouled, got up, dusted themselves off, and took their respective penalties perfectly. And in the second half, Tyreek George, 2 minutes after being introduced as a second half substitution, scored past Pasveer after another bit of deflection, helped Chelsea's cause. You've got to see the scoreline as it stands. So Real Madrid were 1-0 up against Juventus. Jude Bellingham scoring for La Liga leaders. Still 1-0. Monaco Spurs 0-0. Slavia Praha and Atalanta 0-0 as well. Liverpool 4-1 up against Eintracht Frankfurt. Hugo Ekitike, the two centre-backs in Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate and Cody Gakpo scoring in the second half to finally break the 4-match losing streak that Liverpool were on. It'll finally give them a bit of confidence. Walsh getting involved for the first time here as he finds Estevao. Looks like Wesley Fofana will finally complete 90 minutes for Chelsea. Here's Buonanotte. Gittins to Fofana. Estevao Willian. Josh Achumpong. Good bit of control there from the centre-back. Look at which position he's picking up here. Brilliant from him. Nearly weaving through. Andre Santos. Haven't seen too much of him in the early stages. It's been nearly 25 minutes in the second half. Andre Santos has been I would say a passive presence, to put it mildly, but a passenger, if you want to be a little bit more accurate. Estevao is taking so much of the responsibilities here. He's taking all the corners. Seems that every attack is being preferred to be played on his side of the wing. Corner here for Chelsea. Estevao's deliveries have been very good. You can see Chelsea players swarming the box. It's the outswinger. It was for Josh Achumpong. Buonanotte nearly brings that under control. Gittins loses out on the header but should be able to bring this under control. He does. He's getting involved, isn't he, Jamie Gittins? The more and more he plays, the better he gets. Here's George on the outside, right-hand side. What a ball into the box! Oh, that was nearly the perfect cross and first-time finish from Estevao Willian. Tyreek George, excellent wing play here. Just takes a step over and puts in a devilish ball into the box. Estevao was running onto it. Doesn't need to take a touch. Side-footed finish. It could have been destined on target here. Might have taken a nick off the Ajax player. Given as a goal kick though. That was brilliant from George. Simple wing play on the right-hand side. One step over, space created, fizzed the ball into the box. 20 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the bridge. It's comfortable settings here for Chelsea. It's been far too easy in the second half. Exactly what you want to see as a team. When the opposition goes down to 10 men, have absolutely no chance about things. 5-1 in a match week where goals have been the main highlight. Liverpool are scoring plenty of goals themselves here as Jamie Gittins on the left hand side. Going to take on Rosa. He's into the box. His ability to stop on a dime is brilliant here. Gittins working a bit of space. Santos. It's far too congested there. Chelsea need to use the width on that occasion. Everybody's far too much in that number 10 position. Here's Walsh. Tyreek George is playing as the right winger now with Estevao as a number 10. Seems that these guys will be swapping positions. Hato. Bit of a heavy touch, but he regains composure as Chalobah clips it towards the far stick. He stayed on side here, George, but the flag has been raised. Good pick out there by Trevor Chalobah. The Cobham connection, Chalobah to George, nearly paying off here in the Champions League. It was Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea, wasn't it? Where we won 4-0 at the bridge against Juventus, and that was all Cobham that game. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Reece James, Mason Mount. I mean, it was total Cobham domination on a European night. Andre Santos on the left-hand side here to Gittins. Now into the box. He's got options. Kenny doesn't decide to pass it to Andre Santos, who should have been the target. Now he does get the ball. Achumpong drops the shoulder. Tyreek George waits for a run. Reggie Walsh does make it. Chelsea combining outside the 18-yard box of Ajax. This is side-to-side movement, defensive drills for Ajax Amsterdam. Buonanotte drops the shoulder. That's a foul. Good play from Buonanotte. The Japanese centre-back, Ko Itakura, a bit forceful there on the Argentine. Free kick here for Chelsea. About 25 yards out. Estevao Willian and Andres Santos, the two Brazilians, are behind this free kick here. Who's going to pull rank here? Both Brazilians, young Brazilians, who've joined the club this summer. There is an option to pass. You can see Tyreek George has picked up an offside position at the penalty circle. I think the referee is saying as soon as the ball is played towards you, I'm going to just get my linesman to flag if it's in the central area. It's Estevao Willian. It's blocked. Reggie Walsh can recover. Here's Gittins. What a cross there! And nearly finds Estevao Willian, who runs onto the ball. I love Estevao's movement, man. The way he attacks the ball into the box. He's like a veteran winger. What a delivery this is from Jamie Gittins. He's on the stretch there, Estevao. He's tried to take it on his left foot on the stretch. He's never really going to get any sort of connection on it. That is a brilliant ball. AJAX on the attack. First real time that they've ventured in the Chelsea box. But no help whatsoever. Chelsea's tried away with the ball again. Achimpong to Tyreek George. Chelsea very fluid here now. Almost like Estevao's playing as a false number 9. Here's Bonanote. Oh, not the same wavelength with Jamie Gittins. He's looking to make the run and just stops. At the very moment that he stops, Bonanote releases the pass. Well, comfortable 90 minutes in the end for Enzo Maresca, but I think the first 10 or 12 minutes would have made him a bit uneasy. I thought AJAX was competing very well. As soon as the red card happens, there's only one real winner. Good header there. Bonanote does very well to lay it off to Gittins. Estevao! Oh, that's a great save. 15 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Estevao Willian is growing more and more influential in this match. In the second half especially. The goalkeeper was just hoping that there was no more swerve on the ball. Happy to see just catch him on the arm. Estevao Willian, talk about taking responsibility in this match. He's 18 years of age. He's demanded the ball. Again, 5-1 here for Chelsea. Chelsea still hungry for goals. Ball into the box. Do like his corners too here, Estevao. It's a good weapon for Chelsea to have. The in-swinger, especially on his left foot, in this angle. If he gets a bit of elevation, Chelsea are always in business. Estevao's cross. Chelsea have to recover here. They do so quite comfortably. Here's Reggie Walsh. Oh, what a pass that is from Walsh. Right onto Estevao, who brings it down. Estevao's shot is straight at the goalkeeper. That is a beautiful pinged pass by Reggie Walsh to Estevao. Here's Yuri Bas. Fofana does well to step in. Bonanote. Brilliant play from the Argentine. Facundo Bonanote drops his shoulder. George nearly goes for the back heel to Bonanote. It would have been a sensational team goal. Here's Estevao Willian. Achimpong. Santos. Gittins. Here's Facundo Bonanote. He decides to go for the shot. The outstretched legs allows the ball to drop into Estevao's path. Estevao is so good in retaining the ball in those spaces, man. Excellent player. What a player we have on our hands. Chalobah. Fofana. Here's Tyreek George. Already seen him in this position once. Again, he drops the shoulder. This time looks to cut back. Good defending. George on the right wing is not a bad option, where he just has to be direct in terms of decision making, either cross or pass. The opportunity is there to shoot. Go for it, because you've seen the shot power in the kid. Achimpong could go for the blast. Decides against it. Here's Achimpong again. Chelsea's average age in the squad has gone down significantly with the changes that Enzo Maresca have made. Chalobah. Into the final third here, Chelsea's defenders are almost as auxiliary attackers as George puts in the ball in. It's asking a little too much there from the Chelsea attackers. Wesley Fofana. Talked about him playing 90 minutes. Seems that he is struggling now. I think Enzo Maresca would be wise to take him off. He made a triple substitution at half-time, then brought on Reggie Walsh. Am I missing anybody else? Probably not. McConnell coming off for Regier. Dutch midfielder. I think this is job done here from Wesley Fofana's point of view. There's a change to be made. I think he should. Yes, I don't expect Wesley Fofana to be starting games in the league for us, but a fit Fofana is a very good option for us, isn't it? Here's George. Walsh. George again. He continues to drop the shoulders. Estevao. Very clever in tight spaces. Walsh with the fake. Here's Fofana. Chalobah again. And it's a long ball into the box. Asking a lot from Buonanotte. Again, needless there from Chalobah. Doesn't have to do that. Good pass forward. Chalobah intercepts. Good work. Lost the ball. Wins it back. Here's George. Achimpong. Back to George again. Wesley Fofana to Andre Santos. Chelsea looking to turn it up here. Add one more goal. Add the gloss. Add the finish here. Final 10 minutes plus stoppage time remaining as George takes the shot. It's a block by Yuri Bas. It will be another corner for Chelsea. Chelsea looking for the 6th here at the bridge. Will really boost our goal difference in the Champions League, that's for sure. Liverpool have scored 5 as well. 5-1 against Eintracht Frankfurt. They have matched our scoreline. Dominic Szoboszlai scoring the 5th in Germany. Played for Leipzig for I want to say 3 years, 2 or 3 years. Back in Germany. Back on the score sheet. Another Estevao corner. This time a bit more height. He's trying to just clear that front post. Klaassen not happy with that decision. He feels that the last touch came off a Chelsea player. Take 2 here for lost the count of the number of corners that we have had. Estevao takes it short with Hato. Here's Buonanotte. Good 1-2 with Andre Santos. Might be a foul. It isn't. Has to get back onto his feet quickly. Here's Ajax looking to break quickly. Oh, what a challenge that is from Hato. Goes flying in. Well, 18 attempts for Chelsea, 9 on target, 5 goals. Just the kind of evening that we were hoping for. That Bayern defeat is now in the rear-view mirror after back-to-back victories at home. Benfica first and now Ajax. Here's Bas. Onto the left-hand side to Raul Moro. Hasn't had anything to do in the second half. He was looking lively in the first. Looking to combine with Mika Götze on the other side, but since the red card, a lot of that has been scrapped. Since then, Chelsea have just bossed possession and have got the goals to boot. Under 8 minutes plus stoppage time remain here for Chelsea. Here's Gittins. Well, Gittins will be happy with the result, but he will want a goal. He really would love a goal. In a day where everybody else has scored, get his first goal for the club. I think that should be the next objective in this match. You got about 7 minutes plus stoppage time. Try and give Gittins one glorious opportunity. Walsh, he's looked very tidy so far. George, brilliant. Cross is deflected, the overhead. Oh, that was spectacular from Estevao. Well, this kid is absolutely crazy, man. He is so good. It is audacious. The keeper was rooted. He does not move. It's a deflected cross. And Estevao on his favoured left foot. Nearly, very nearly. Wow. Estevao Willian. This guy just continues to dazzle. Every time he's on the pitch, you just feel like something's going to happen. I thought when Enzo Maresca brought on Jamie Gittins and Estevao Willian against Liverpool in the second half when Chelsea were struggling, those two just played an absolutely brilliant game. Estevao, of course, got all the plaudits for scoring the winner, the 96th minute winner. Couple of changes here coming for Ajax. Might be a little too late for them in terms of giving the players a rest, as Rosa and Götze, the right back and the left winger, come off. The Ajax fans still in loud voices here at the bridge. The players would absolutely love that. Despite the scoreline and the way the game has panned out, supporters are out there screaming at the top of their lungs, supporting their teams. Chastening experience for John Heitinger. He knows that big European nights, if they go in your favour, can really enhance your reputation. But Heitinger in the Champions League has had a bit of a nightmare here. 3 defeats in 3. They're rock bottom out of the 36 teams. Need to try and get out of that hole as quickly as possible here. Remember, they played the semi-finals in Erik ten Hag was the manager. Since then, a lot has happened at Ajax. I think Fofana's defending is more than touch tight. He's ultra aggressive, isn't he? That's what made him the defender that he was when he was at Leicester. The way that he is just read the danger and nip in there quickly to get the ball off the attacker. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain here. Chelsea looking to add the gloss. Estevao Willian is desperate for another goal. He's come close on a couple of occasions. The Tyreek George cross, which he found himself on the left-hand side with the first-time effort, and then the overhead kick was nearly the spectacular. Well, Chelsea nearly home and dry. I absolutely love me some comfortable games. Well, every game has to be stressful, does it? Got to take these when they come. Still 1-0 at Santiago Bernabeu. Tyreek George committing the foul. Ajax looking to get out of their own half here, which I think they've done on 2 occasions in the second half. It's been all Chelsea, despite the changes being made by Enzo Maresca. 10 changes were made at the start of kickoff. Then 5 substitutions since then. So everybody getting game time this week would be very encouraging, and signs are still good. Philip Jorgensen has had very little to do on the 2 moments that he has been tested, I would say. Hasn't really covered himself in glory, but considering that he's had a evening where he could just put a lawn chair in goal and enjoy the rest of the day, he's had one of those days. Achumpong. Tyreek George on the right hand side. Good touch there from Walsh. Walsh looks some player, doesn't he? Look at him. Confident touches, spinning away from trouble. You suddenly see such quick motions, such decisive actions in very quick time. Start to take notice, don't you? Fofana, Santos, Chalobah. Chelsea looking to run down the clock. Estevao Willian with a brilliant pass there from Trevor Chalobah. Oh, that might be another penalty here for Chelsea. Estevao Willian. Again, has he looked for the contact? There might have been some. Fofana does so well again. Look at the way he's so aggressive in the challenge. Talked about how he does read the danger so well. Under 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time remain here. I think the German referee will not add on too much time and put Ajax out of their misery. Here's George. Shimmying and shaking to try and get away from trouble. Here's Achampong. Santos. Reggie Walsh to Buonanotte. Might be a foul, it isn't. Well, the two number 10s in Buonanotte and Reggie Walsh have shown some very good touches. Reggie Walsh, the way that he turns away from tricky situations is something that we can look forward to more and more once Enzo Maresca starts trusting him a lot more with game time. Here's Santos. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remain. Wesley Fofana. Achampong. Almost brought in as a right back, but he's played midfield pretty much since coming on. Santos. Chip pass onto the right hand side for George. Here's Walsh. And space has opened up. We don't have a number 9 there to really attack it. It's Estevao who's playing as that false 9 now. Fofana. Santos back to Fofana again. Could play this. Oh, the back heel from Estevao nearly finds Josh Achampong. A couple of the moves that the Chelsea youngsters have pulled off could have really been some special moments at the bridge. 30 seconds plus stoppage time remain. Here's Walsh. Chelsea just looking to run down the clock here. It's job done. Absolutely job done. Estevao. Santos, the Brazilian connection. Trevor Chalobah into stoppage time. 5 minutes of stoppage time added on. Chelsea have enough incentive to go after one more here. George. Chalobah loses out the possession on that occasion. The back header. Back to Pasveer. Throw in is good here to the substitute on the left hand side. Does very well, but look at Achampong is on him like a rash. Absolutely nowhere to go, forcing Ajax back every time they do have possession just to keep hold of the ball. They've had no presence up front since Wout Weghorst came off. David Klaassen coming on in his place, the experienced midfielder. Just giving them slightly bit more control in terms of just packing the spaces in the midfield. What a challenge that could have been there from Andre Santos, but it's a foul. Ko Itakura driving forward with the ball, the Japanese centre half driving with purpose. Here's Bas. Sotalo. Look at the Chelsea press here. We're 5-1 up. Look at Fofana biting into the challenges. You saw that Enzo Maresca was just having a word with Wesley Fofana. He's saying that don't let your intensity drop here. Push yourself. Because if you want to be fit for playing games, and not just these odd 40 or 50 minute games, you want to go out there, play 90 minutes, week in, week out. That's your game goal rather as a professional footballer. Hato, excellent. Well, one thing I associate with Jarell Hato is his composure. That has been on full display. Against Liverpool, it was first class. Like I said, sometimes you just see things on the pitch where you just think, oh, this player's got this in him. And it just becomes a completely different dimension that's been added onto that player. Yes, you know they've got quality, they've got certain attributes. You've seen it on, YouTube clips, even when you see them in games. But then when you see them, especially when they play for your team, when you're really got your focus on it and you're trying to almost micro-analyze every situation. You see stuff like that, it really does stand out. So Jamie Gitton showed some of that in patches. We want more consistency from him. Tyreek George continues to score under Enzo Maresca. Remember, it was his goal against Fulham when Chelsea needed it the most, where Enzo Maresca's job could have been under jeopardy. It was that seminal moment where his goal started the comeback for us. 2 minutes of stoppage time remain. Here's Tyreek George. Goes around the outside. Stops quickly. Goes back onto his left. Back to Fofana. Chelsea just looking to kill time here in the opposition box. Chalobah. George. Walsh. Oh, Walsh was just trying to put that into the front post, waiting for someone to really make that run. Reggie Walsh has been adventurous. He's been playing in those pockets. Good to see him making those runs and receiving the passes. Itakura. Onto the right-hand side here as they look to switch. And Chelsea do cover the space as well. The press has been relentless. The best part of this victory is Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo getting rest. Caicedo especially, 45 minutes only against Nottingham Forest and only 45 minutes against Ajax. Perfect. It's exactly what you want to do when you're trying to give Moises Caicedo some sort of rest. He played all 38 games for Chelsea and Enzo Maresca last season in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure he played all 92. Ajax looking to end with a flourish here. Jarell Hato does brilliantly. Won't get the clean sheet, but no more goals from Ajax. Johnny Heitinga looks on. Chelsea nearly home and dry. About 15 seconds of stoppage time remaining for another successful midweek assignment for Chelsea. That Bayern defeat now in the rearview mirror. 1-0 against Benfica. 5-1 now up against Ajax. The referee looks at his watch and he blows the full-time whistle. Chelsea with a very comfortable evening in the Champions League. It did not start in that manner as Ajax came to the bridge and started to play some decent football, but Kenneth Taylor, their captain, picks up a straight red card, and from there it was all Chelsea. Mark Guiu scoring a minute later after the red card, and from there the uphill battle continued. Moises Caicedo scored the second goal. Couple of penalties for Chelsea just before half-time as Wout Weghorst scored the only goal for Ajax from the spot. Tyreek George coming on in the second half, scoring 2.5 minutes into his arrival as Chelsea complete a dominant victory in the Champions League. Back-to-back victories in the Champions League for the Blues as we move up the table. Full time here at Stamford Bridge.